I was nervous, very dreadfully nervous. But why will you say that I am mad? The disease sharpened my senses, not dulled but destroyed them. I heard all things in heaven and in earth. I heard many things in hell. But why will you say that I am mad? Observe how calmly I tell you this whole story. I don't know how the idea first entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. I didn't do it out of passion or desire. I loved the old man. He had never belonged to me. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. You fancy me mad? Madmen know nothing. You should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded with caution and foresight. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh so gently. And when I had made the opening big enough, I thrust in my head. Ha! Would a man have been so wise as this? And when my head was in the room, I shone the light cautiously. Oh, so cautiously. A single ray of light fell upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it perfectly and it chilled the very marrow of my bones. Then came a sound. I knew that sound well. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury. But the beating grew louder, louder. I thought the heart must burst. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw down the light and leaped into the room. He shrieked once, and only once. I dragged him to the floor. For many minutes, the heart beat on with a muffled sound. This did not vex me. However, it would not be heard through the wall. At length it ceased. The old man was dead. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If you still think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took. I carefully put the body in a compartment in the closet. There was nothing to wash out, no blood spot whatever. I had been wary for that. Around 4 o'clock there came a knocking at the door. I went to open it with a light heart, for what had I now to fear? A shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night, and the information had been lodged at the police office. I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own from a dream. The man I mentioned was absent. I took my visitors all over the place, and I bade them search, and search well. I brought them into the old man's bedroom and had them rest from their fatigues. I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, sat myself nearest the very spot I had hidden the corpse of the victim. My manner had convinced them. I was at ease. But ere long, I felt myself growing pale and wished them gone. My head ached and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But I soon found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt I now grew very pale. The sound increased. It was a low, dull, quick sound, much as a watch when enveloped in cotton makes. I talked more quickly, but the noise increased. Why would the officers not be gone? What could I do? The noise grew louder, 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 and the men chatted pleasantly and smiled. They heard. They suspected. They knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. Anything was more desirable than this agony. I could bear these hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt I must scream out or die. Louder, louder, louder! Villains! This sound will no more. I admit the deed. In the closet. It's the beating of his hideous heart.
Ha ha!